Hello and welcome to the lecture on what is access modifiers. So we'll understand what is this word access modifiers means. Well, access modifier helps to restrict the access of a property or a method. Well, there are three types of access modifiers. One is public, one is private, and one is protected. In this section, we're going to look only into public and private. In the next section, inheritance section, we will understand protected access modifier. Okay, so don't be confused when we don't see protected modifiers discussed in this section. It will be discussed in the next section with the concept of inheritance. As discussed, the main purpose of access modifiers is to help restrict the access of property or a method, which means let's say you have a car class and you have something called as engine as a property. You don't want anybody to change the engine type, right? You want to decide, maybe you want to hard code it inside the car class, and then you don't want anybody to change directly from outside by accessing that property via the object, right? So what you do is you create that engine property as private. So once you define as private, nobody can change it or access it from outside. So this is basically some kind of security that you are adding to you're also hiding some of the features that can be accessed from the object. Well, that is the main purpose of access modifiers. They help to hide the property and the method accessed from the object. So once you define anything as public, means it is public, it can be accessed via the object. Once you define anything as private, you cannot access it via the object. We're going to do an exercise and we're going to understand how these things work. Well, access modifiers help you to hide some of the things accessed via the object, right? You can hide property and also you can hide some methods. If you don't want anybody to call a method via the object, you can just mark them as private and nobody will be able to call that method from the object. Okay, so that's the purpose of the access modifiers. We will do two examples in this section, public and private, and protected. As I said, we will cover that in the next section. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some exercises to understand this access modifier.